Alright, welcome back to another Let's Play of Skyrim for the Borther. I'm a Naughty Moose, and I'm joined today by one of the brothers, Alex.
Hello.
And, yeah, so we're going to continue making our way towards the, back towards the Greybeards. And, yeah, so, if, you've been with us before, you might remember we did an Alex and I episode once before. But, yeah, if you're new here, I have no idea how the fuck you got here. Feel free to hit like and subscribe any even number of times. If you screw that up, you too might become one of the brothers. You guys are all bad at math.
Positive living proof right here, let me tell you.
I want to go straight towards the... Miss. Don't worry, I won't miss you.
I miss him. I wanted a pet.
I've got a pill. We can pet that.
Ooh, good.
But yeah, like, I don't know. I want to go straight to the Greybeards, but then I'm like, ooh, a cave.
Piece of candy. Piece of candy.
Piece of candy? Piece of candy. Ooh.
Bloodlust? Bloodlust. Oh, bloodlust.
Yeah, so I think it's firmly established that Prisoner definitely has some sort of wanderlust version of AD. There's a cave on either side. This is amazing. So yeah, I've been thinking through kind of what we can do with the alchemy now, and it's way more powerful than I was being a little dismissive of it earlier in the series. It's got an ominous name.
I think it looks pretty cool. But this is another instance of... Ooh! Another something else.
Huh. Made out of like pelvic bones.
So yeah,
Rib cages.
Is it a weapon?
It looks more like some sort of tribal totem or something, right?
Sure. You know what? I'll see.
Yeah, it's got that, like, it looks sort of like the doors at the first temple where I found a word.
Hmm.
That's promising. Maybe I'll find a word wall in here.
Dark Water Pass.
And it's going to be a mountain pass, so we're going to wind up having to come back out the way we came in.
All the Me episodes are treated like one of the offshoot sitcom episodes where they're like, well, we'll never talk about this character or his antics again.
Orcish greatsword? Magic suppression. Okay, well, we'll take that.
It's pretty.
Palmer! Give me your ears. Quit moving. Give me your ears. Weak, lingering poison.
That sounds like a night at Taco Bell.
Right? Should I eat some soup for this mission?
Soup.
Yeah. For the whole stamina.
I've seen how you eat soup. You don't eat it, you inhale it. The only time it really works is when you're in need. You just demolish soup, which is a feat to behold.
Boy, Palmer arrows and bows aren't very good. There, Palmer ear. Look at that. Damage health.
Oh wow.
Damage health. Ravage health. Those are great. Their ears are really good ingredients. So yeah, now that I have that perk in alchemy, that's gonna let me apply a poison to my weapon, and then it applies to the next hits. equal to my alchemy rating divided by 10.
Mm.
If I put on a poison that does like 10 damage or whatever, the next 4 hits are going to apply that poison to my enemy. And poison stacks in this game. So if you get one of those poisons that does like 10 damage a second for the next 5 seconds, I can apply that to them 4 times. Now they're taking 40 damage a second.
Nothing's broken in this game. Not everything's broken.
Just gonna regen a little health over here for a moment.
Stay in the corner and suck your thumb a little bit.
Yeah, that was a good fight. Why is that so bad? Oh, yeah, you can make armor out of it.
I was gonna say, none of this stuff I would take willingly.
Yeah, I'm gonna take all that.
I mean, just me personally. See, like that? That looks like a nightmare.
Just harvesting the chitin off these bizarre bug monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, splashing back into the deep. I should probably take a healing potion. Ooh, I can level up. I should probably... No. Restores 40 points of health. There we go.
It's the Dark Water Pass, or what was it? Dark Pass
Yeah,
Water.
Dark Water Pass.
Yeah, a little bit tougher than we thought. Goodness.
So I think that thing that we saw outside that looked like some sort of tribal gewgaw, that's probably a Falmer thing, right?
God, you know what? I think it is.
Yeah.
Let's read my Falmer textbook, and yeah, I think you're right.
So do you know who the Falmer are?
No, I don't.
Yeah, the dwarves took them in, and then basically put them into slavery, and over time, the Falmer mutated and lost their vision. They were like intelligent surface-dwelling elves at one point, silver elves, I think.
Oh, okay.
Not anymore.
Yeah, certainly not anymore. Now they have cool ears.
Conjure Weeping Daedra. A Weeping Daedra. It steals large amounts of health with its magic attacks, but turns inert brittle stone when an enemy looks at it. Oh, cool. I think it's a Doctor Who reference.
Once again, it's why I shouldn't be here. It's why my episodes are the sitcom we don't talk about it ever again.
You remember that nerd who doesn't catch every pop culture reference? My God.
I'm just so lame. You know what? I'm sorry, Borthers. But you know what?
You know what would really hook you into this game? Is if I spend some... Well, that probably. Yeah, that's just better for everybody. I'm going to take some health, because we're struggling in front. No, we went down the smithing and went over here to the dwarven autocannons. This game has guns.
I'm pretty cool with that.
Yeah, if you go this path of these perks, you wind up getting better and better ones, and you basically drop standing turrets of fully automatic weapons. I come up here and there's bad guys up there. Well, I'm just going to plunk down this autocannon as we both sit here and deal with the problem as it's coming towards us down this long avenue of fire. I wish I could gather the glowing crap.
Bioluminescence.
Yeah.
Thank you, 8th grade science. The one time I needed you.
Ooh, Charis eggs are another invisibility item.
The thing I wouldn't touch.
Is it the bug eggs?
I think I would burn them.
Staying out of this.
Once again, real life. Game, by all means.
No sign of them.
In life, I see those bug eggs. Nope. Getting fire. getting bleach, cleaning the whole place. We're not having none of that. None of it.
Why am I wafting green off my body?
Time to take a shower, homie.
Yeah, no kidding.
Last time prisoner, bathed.
Well, I mean, I was in a river a little while ago. That counts, right?
You sound like the 14-year-old me who's like, oh, well, I washed my hands today.
My stepson tuned me into something. This amulet of Talos doesn't actually work.
Huh.
Just looking for... Huh. Alright. I have no idea why on earth we were wafting green.
So, correct me if I'm wrong here. I've watched, all of these and noticed that prisoners gathered quite a bit of money. Quite a bit of money.
Yeah, I blew most of it on Smith.
Let's say enough money to just live on. Venturing, that's a young man's game. It's a young prisoner's deal.
Oh, you could probably get away with that idea, sure. Vampire does. Nice. I mean, yeah, in game lore, probably, right?
Uh-huh.
But that's not what he's about.
Settle down, find a nice, lady prisoner. Have little prisoner babies.
Have little prisoner babies. I think CPS might have something to say about that.
Not with that butthole piercer that you got. That shit he learned in prison.
Right? Don't mess with me, lady. Dwarven Sword of Depleting. Neat.
How does this backpack work? Oh, wait.
Yeah, I already actually have that. It's weird how that works.
You open the flap, there's more space.
There we go. Now, here's what's ironic. I just destroyed all those items to be able to learn enchantment.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I have it up to 50, I think if I go gem dust, yeah. If I go to 50 and I take this one, this perk here, choose to destroy a flawless gem, right? But yeah, I'll take that perk. It's fine. Cool. I'll figure out later. I can take this preserver perk. Learning an item's enchantment does not destroy it.
Oh.
Ironically,
okay.
You've got to destroy a lot of shit to get there.
You know what?
But
break a couple eggs.
it's more money and more loot in the long run for me, so I've been waiting to take that perk. I've been wanting. And Soul Siphon's kind of neat. Death blows to creatures but not people. Trap a little bit of the soul, recharging the weapon.
Huh.
Which will be cool. Eventually we'll have that stuff.
If I knew what half of this stuff meant, by goodness, this would be a great commentary. Sadly, Borthers, you are stuck with mediocrity. At least in mine. We have a naughty moose here, so quality content.
Yeah. You don't know from good. Ooh. It's gotten good enough. Forward power attack with a battle axe executes targets below 30% health. A critical strike that deals 20 times critical damage. Yep.
That's bad at math, but those numbers add up pretty quick, so.
Those numbers are big.
Big number.
Power attack with two-handed weapons increased damage. Plus % per point of stamina. unlocks decapitations, which I've done one of those. It's really cool. Two-handed sprinting power attack that fucks shit up. That's cool. Yeah. Cool. We finally spent those perks.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been meaning to get around to that for a little bit. Looks like there's nothing else really here for me to find. I came crawling out of that hole, I guess. Not that one.
Which one's the
Those
bugs?
guys that I just fought?
Oh, those guys. I think
Yeah.
with the bugs. I'm like, well, let's
No.
get Exterminator in here, man. Let
No,
him take
those
care of that.
Charuses, you'll see those egg things, right? Yep, this deal. Those outside. It's like
yeah.
kind of totem-y thing. Definitely a Falmer thing.
Kind of like a Living Dead kind of ornament.
Hey, big guy.
What do you think his chances are of living? through
Come
this?
running to me. I don't want you to die while I'm... Thank you.
Oh man, that was my favorite Falmer.
Don't worry, I gathered up his ear. Because nothing is going to smell better in the long run than a bag full of ears.
What's this, Vietnam again? Good lord.
There is a quest somebody gives you in the game that's not like part of the expansions, or it was like vanilla Skyrim, where somebody is like, yeah, blah, blah, Palmer or a rum. Ooh.
Nice.
Sweet trap.
Yeah, that was really cool. Let's see that again in slow motion. Oh wait, we don't.
It's a really cool trap. I should have activated it from this side. That's okay. Next time. Lesson learned.
We'll trip the next booby trap.
Ooh, troll skull. There's an archer down there.
Yeah, no,
I don't know if I want to go down to him. It's neat how the blind guy is like, I'm going to kick his ass from way over here.
Did you have a good archery setup as well?
Yes, but I kind of try not to use it as much. Ooh, elven arrows. Fuck yeah. I try not to use it as much as possible because unless I'm like game hunting or something. Because the stealth archer build in this game is just broken good. It is so good. And it's a problem because, and it's like there's memes about this, like that I've decided I'm going to play a two-handed heavy armor guy, and then 30 hours into gameplay you're a stealth archer, right? Because you can sneak around. It's real easy to get your stealth up real high so that shit won't see you. And I could have sat in his room and just sneak attacks deal multiples of damage if they don't see you when you shoot them. It's real easy to get high damage bows and arrow combinations, especially when you start enchanting and applying poisons. You will drop big, tough enemies before they have a chance to hit you.
Gosh.
Yeah. You'll come into a room of enemies and be like, well, I'm going to take them on one at a time. There we go. Got our health back.
So then, what if, say, like somebody like me, casual player among us, among the Borthers,
Yeah.
would like to play? I mean, what kind of setup would you recommend?
Well, I mean, sword and shield, I think, is, if you wanted to play a melee, sword and shield, I think, is the most fun because then you get to use the block a little more meaningfully. And there's some cool block perks that will, like, throw guys off balance, and it can make combat feel a little more tactical. And you can be way more tactical about melee combat than this lunk is going about being. But,
Well, we said we're
okay.
going to trip him, didn't we?
But this time we're going to observe where the hell the claws are.
Wait.
Is it okay that I used him to trip it?
I think we'll allow it.
It's allowed! But yeah, like, the stealth archer build is so easy to do, and you just focus all your perk points into stealth and archery in the beginning until you have those maxed out, and by that point you're gonna basically just be winning everything. Yeah, I think the stealth archer route is a great way to go. But the gameplay is much slower, right? Because you will methodically make your way through. Oh, hell yeah.
This seems like a very expensive thing.
Yeah. So it's a much more slow-paced, methodical form of gameplay. Because with Prisoner, you've noticed I just kind of run my way through everything. Like, oh, there's a bad guy. I'm going to run right at him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And as a stealth archer, you need to be much slower, more cautious, more thoughtful. And then the other most popular way to play is as a mage, where you're just using... I mean, you could use spell in one hand and a sword in the other, or whatever, or run around with spell and staff and that kind of thing. But if you play a mage, arguably you have the ability to become one of the most powerful kinds of characters going through the mage route, but it requires you to set in your favorites down here basically every spell you know, so that as you are attacking somebody, you hit them with this to set them up, and then switch spells to hit them with that. And oh, well, I'm coming up against this, so I'm going to switch real quick and give myself this boost against whatever it is kind of elemental attack that they're using, and then I'm going to switch to what should be their elemental weakness. And so you wind up swapping what you're attacking with like a lot. It requires you to be much more adaptive to the moment, but that's also part of the fun of the build, is that you're constantly changing things up and reacting, so it makes you feel kind of more clever, I guess. And eventually you get your spells so damn powerful that you just walk into a base full of bad guys and just push everyone's shit in from 50 yards away, and they have no way to respond meaningfully.
Okay, yeah.
Oop, into Skyrim. So this will be the other side where this cavern lets out.
Darkwater Pass, we did it.
We did it. Now, where the hell did we do? Way over here, so... Where did we come into Darkwater Pass? Love's Knife, Hideout. We were heading to Iverstead. I don't know. We can still head to Iverstead.
Cool.
Which is that away.
Oh, wait, no.
Oh,
No music.
Again. Yeah, we don't. Well, I don't think we're in any threat of my videos being monetized anytime soon. With all, less than 20 of my subscribers.
You say that now. But I'll be like, wow, gee, I knew him when.
Well, hopefully you'll still know me.
He made it as the big YouTuber.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. YouTubing gaming is actually like one of the hardest. It's like trying to become a successful YouTuber on hard mode if you want to do it in gaming, because there are so many faces in that space, and a lot of them have been doing it since long before the adpocalypse and have established audiences, and so when folks are looking for content for their favorite game, they can either turn to one of their known and favorite streamers, or they can start experimenting with new faces, and most of us are lazy as shit, so the idea of constantly searching for new faces is tedious.
Yeah, but I see what you mean. I have my own favorites for my gaming streaming.
Donut Operator, right?
Yeah. I watch his gaming channel. That's what I really like.
Doesn't he mostly stream on Twitch though?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't Twitch.
If he streams at all,
Not
at the
without a lot
moment.
of coffee.
If he streams at all anymore.
Oh, really?
I just don't know. I don't follow his gaming stuff.
Because I saw him on that podcast with like Fat Electrician and those guys, and they were talking about streaming. So it seemed to me like it's still something he actively does on the go. Ooh, a troll.
That is old.
Look, new to me.
Whoa. Okay, fair enough.
Wow. I smoked that troll. Jesus.
Maybe.
Nernroot is one of the only alchemical ingredients that doesn't respawn.
Huh.
Human art for alchemical reasons, I swear.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I'm just holding it for a friend.
Right? I think the troll set up camp here.
No. Really?
This looks kind of trolly.
Just random dead bodies in a book.
Ancient Tales of the Dwemer. At that value, this one's probably a skill book. Student card. Note to the captain. Okay. I'm going to have to check the books.
Prisoner can read?
Yeah.
That's it. My suspension of disbelief is gone.
He's picked up several. Note to the captain. Well,
I can only imagine that Prisoner reads books the way I do. But if there aren't pretty pictures, don't want nothing of it.
been multiple complaints about attacks near the river to the northwest of the rift. We could use some civilian support from that area for the war effort. Send a few men to check it out. It's probably a couple wolves. Send 2 guys. Happy hunting. Well,
It was a troll.
that worked out great for you guys. You don't have to participate in that lame-ass civil war anymore.
I remember back in the day when you used to wear the cloak. Was
Still have a cloak.
what does the storm cloak or whatever it's called? Storm cloud, whatever.
Yep, there's the storm cloaks and the Imperials.
Back when you wore that and just rocked it all day long.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of either faction, actually.
Yeah. But you wore it.
I mean, both of them are sort of meh and understandable. I think if you have a deep enough understanding of the lore, you should probably be siding with the Imperials for the long-term future, or quality of the long-term future of everybody who's not part of the Aldmeri Dominion. But, I can also see why Skyrim would want to be independent. Although I think Ulfric is a bit of a bastard.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking
I have
about.
to wonder, what does the Dragon
The-
Ball do once
the
she's been summoned by the Grave?
Geopolitical structure of
Can the
Skyrim.
fool
I
be
am
taught, like any skill?
100% down with it.
Well, alright, so Ulfric Stormcloak,
to keep
there
my eyes
is
open.
some deep
Damn
cuts
dragons
lore
could
to
swoop down
suggest
at
that
any
he
time.
is being manipulated and used by the Aldmeri Dominion through the Thalmor Embassy as an agent provocateur to spark this civil war. to weaken not only Skyrim but the Empire.
Uh-huh.
I need
And
to
there's a
ask
lot
you
of
to
politics
stop.
and things.
That
Oh, of course.
shouting is making people
trying to sound-
nervous.
No, interested.
Knowledgeable.
Aye,
That
this
will
is.
straighten that out.
Who doesn't know this?
Actually, a lot of people who have played through this game multiple times don't know this, because to find it out, okay, so there's this big war that happened that ties into the background of who Prisoner is, right? So his background is that he was part of a group of elite special forces sent deep into Eldmeri territory to essentially be like the Inglorious Bastards. Right?
Okay.
They were scouting out enemy troop movements. They were sabotaging supply lines. They were taking out officers. That was their gig. Deep undercover. Ooh, a kitty. Ooh. I went to kitty. Right? That's what they did. That's who they were and what they were up to. Well, what's that green flame? It's not this kitty. Kitty gonna die. Well, the war between the Empire of Man and the Eldmeri Dominion, think like an elven empire. God, I love that bear. I'm gonna start calling that Thronding the Bear. We just thronded that bear. Oh, it's a hunter. That's sad. Take his money.
Broke ass hunter.
Yeah, they're all broke, but he made his living fucking poaching. So, mad respect. Pine Peak Cavern. Oh no, not another hunter.
Just in the sight of the city. Like, man, look at those two guys. Man, they are getting their asses kicked.
Yeah,
That
the guard's
bear
just
is
like,
really getting it.
and the guard's just like, sucks to be those guys. So there was this big dust up between the nation of elves and the nation of man, right?
As tends to happen.
Yeah. So, in that huge war, Prisoner was one of these special forces dropped who went deep into enemy territory to basically be the Inglorious Bastards of Skyrim,
All right.
right? And when you see some Thalmor, you will definitely understand the Nazi overtones. So it's very appropriate, lore-wise, really. Well, that war ended with a peace treaty known as the White Gold Accordant, and as part of that, humans are in the Empire are no longer allowed to worship this guy named Talos, right? Who's one of the gods, one of the 9 divines. The problem Eldmeri Dominion has with this is Talos was born a mortal man and ascended to godhood. And so they're like, so he's not a true god, and if you want this war to stop, you have to stop worship of this guy, right? Which, in reality, actually robs Talos of his power. That's how the gods get power, is through worship.
Get Freddy
Right.
Krueger powers.
And that's why my Amulet of Talos, that's supposed to reduce the cooldown of my shouts, doesn't work. Because he's not being worshipped openly. Right?
Okay.
Anyway. So, the war ends, the White Gold Concordant declares peace, and there's another nation called Hammerfell that is still at war with the Eldmeri Dominion during this time. So, Prisoner had decided to make his way to Hammerfell and rejoin the fight against the Eldmeri Dominion. And once he had gotten close to the border, tragedy struck and he was knocked the fuck out. And he woke up at the very beginning on a cart with Ralof and woke up and
dragon
didn't know
fodder.
who he was or what his name was, and someone called him Prisoner, and so that's what he's been going by. Because if we're going to start the story with this en medias res bullshit, then we're going to run with it, and this guy's got amnesia.
I've always found it a fun name.
Yeah. Step up, Prisoner. Prisoner. That's my name, I guess.
Okay.
All right. Hey, kitty. See if we can't Thrond this one, too. No, didn't Thrond.
Go for something.
Yeah, they're not fat kid bear claws, unfortunately. Joel, Myra, Joel. Am I saying that right? I've only ever read it.
I don't see why not. Joldfish,
Man.
Jold Rain.
Joel.
Leave a comment to see, how to pronounce that word.
Yeah, we want you to type out this word I've only ever read and tell me how to pronounce it. Am I saying it right? Jold?
It's just going to be Jold all over.
Isn't that like the only word in dwarven folk songs? Jold. I think I read that in a Discworld novel once. Very serious set of non-fiction Discworld. And here we are, bottom of the 7,000 steps or whatever. You can run up and you can read the story of how the Greybeards started. Go back in the episodes to probably episodes like 3 or 4 or whatever, I don't know, where we did this and killed that goat.
I remember that.
Really? Hi, bear. Oh, I didn't get the animation. I wanted to throng it.
So, say, as a, if I were a beginner, clearly not, I am a skilled lore master of Skyrim.
Deep understanding.
That tree right there, that one, that tree, goes way back.
Me and that random piece of fauna have great history. I didn't know you were a dendrophile, by the way.
There's so much you don't know about me. Just like this game. I mean, I love this. The question is, how long would it take for me to get, a working grasp on the lore?
Well, and that's what's kind of fun, is you don't need that to play the game. If you wanted to develop that working grasp through the game, that's as easy as every time you come across books, stopping and reading them. There's thousands and thousands of pages of lore just inside Skyrim alone, and every one of the Elder Scrolls games. I'm not sure how much there was books for you to find in like Daggerfall or whatever, but like all the Elder Scrolls games have had tons of information for you to learn, where it was just world building that they were working in, right? But they've been doing this world building for 6 games made over several years now, so there's a lot, and not all of it agrees, right? Because like basically everything you read is very clearly from an unreliable narrator.
All right, so moderate amount of work. How long would it take for me to get a mastery understanding of the lore?
Well, and that would be a hell of a lot easier today than it would have been, say, when the game first came out, because now you've got any number of YouTubers that, I mean, if you just decided to spend a month reading about it and watching videos on YouTube lore in your spare time, you could probably get a very, very high level grasp of Elder Scrolls lore inside a month, easy. And that's just in your spare time, not like taking days off work to pore over every word that was ever written. Because now you've got like phantom wikis and all that shit to reference. And it's like all the monsters respawned up here on the 7,000 steps. That's great. So did the snowberries. Ooh, snowberries. Ooh, snowberries. Ooh.
More steps.
There's not actually 7,000.
Oh, is it like the 100 Years War kind of thing?
Yeah, somebody counted once, and it's actually like, I don't know, not even 1,000 if I remember right.
Lame.
And it's like 700 some.
That's how many steps, but I see there's intermittent steps here, so there's no steps here. But
Right,
you were
and they
taking
counting,
steps.
Like, that's a step, that's a step, that's a step. You know, like steps in a staircase.
Mm-hmm. But how many like physical steps are you taking?
Oh, I don't know.
Could that
I
be?
guarantee you, some poor compulsive kid.
Retrieved the horn of Jürgen Wilco. Well done. You have now passed all the trials. Come with me. It is time for us to recognize you formally as Dragonborn. You are ready to learn the final word of unrelenting force. Da, which means push. Da. With all three words together, this shout is much more powerful. Use it wisely. Master Wolfgar will now gift you with his knowledge of Da. We have completed we would speak to you. Stand between us and prepare yourself. Few can withstand the unbridled voice of the Greybeards, but you are ready. Indra crosses Strundul, Borthers, Lo, Ra, now. Dovahkiin, you have tasted the voice of the Greybeards and passed through unscathed. High Hrothgar is open to you.